Hey, what it do? Welcome to the Quarter Report, brought to you by the Red Knight Special. With this is Word on the Net. I'm your boy Dut, and we finna get off into it. Now, today I actually don't have no videos for y'all. I just wanted to chop it up with the good people. You feel me? Now, I know everybody wondering. I said I'm finna bring my boy John Gaines on with me, and we finna do this quarter report because he is half of the quarter key uh 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 team. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a big major part of the quarter key team. You feel me? So we're gonna push that line and get him out there. You know what I'm saying? Get him on here. The problem we having is my boy John Gaines live in Boston, Massachusetts. You know what I'm saying? And I'm in California. So it's a time difference. So we got to get on the same time schedule because some recordings going to be an hour, some recordings going to be a little longer than an hour. You dig what I'm saying? But uh it's gonna be we're gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? It's a couple other guys I had talked to before I talked to John Gaines. Wasn't that I didn't think John Gaines was a perfect fit. I was just trying to pick somebody that the time schedule wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't collide together or whatever, wouldn't really collide like that. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, John Gaines seemed to be the only one that's real consistent about making it happen. So, I'm around my boy. We're gonna press the line on, we're gonna make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So furthermore, I want to let y'all know also that when I do these lives and y'all want to hop on and y'all hear me talking about something that you don't agree with or you would like to have a talk about it, let me show y'all a little something, right? See, all you have to do is get in my inbox or comment while I'm going live, say something. I'll leave a link, shoot your email address, I'll send you a link. You hit the link, it's gonna bring you in. And just to show you how it works, you know what I'm saying? Um, you click the link, it's gonna say open. Oh man, give me a few seconds here. Okay, now it's gonna say join broadcast. You hit join broadcast. Now, you see, now you see how it's going. Now you in there. Now when I add you, you know what I'm saying? When I add you, it's gonna look like this. You feel me? So let me get up out of here. Yeah. So that's how it's gonna look, and we're gonna be able to chop it up and go in and be able to, debate, chop it up, anything. Because I wouldn't mind debating with somebody because I know it be seeming like I be coming at people sideways. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't that I be coming at people sideways. It's just the fact that I speak my mind on when I see something that it's a lot of narratives being pushed around here. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, procrastinating, hating, and negotiating going on around here. It's a lot of get along game type shit going on around here. You feel me? And what I mean by that is, you could just tell by in the comments or just pay attention to what's being posted. Like for instance, I can post something talking, saying something crazy, real out of the real crazy, just being funny, then you get likes. But see, I could post something that's real, it's funny, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like the last I posted something where it says a man want happiness and a woman want all these different categories. One person comment on it, and then she put a crying emoji up under it. So I'm like, I don't trip on the comments and people. None of I never cared about none of that anyway. I don't do it for y'all likes. I just do it to get my point across. But I was tripping on the crying emoji, and I was saying to myself, like, why was it a crying emoji? Because if you sit down and have, and this is, you sit down and have a conversation with a woman, she gonna tell you what this. You watch YouTube all day long and talk, see all these different women saying the same thing. I won't date a mailman. I won't date a bus driver. I won't date a all these people that got a source of income. These women talking about they won't date them unless they own a truck, unless they own a company. But what do you own as yourself? What do you own yourself? So you want somebody to own all these different things and have it own everything, but you don't have that to contribute to the situation. But what your looks? How long you think your looks gonna stay up? And let me tell y'all guys a little secret. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no disrespect to all the beautiful women out there, cause a lot of y'all out there. But a lot of beautiful, the most beautiful is woman got some whack poom poom. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. You know why? Because she's fine. So everybody wants it. So she's only messing with certain type of people and everybody getting it. You feel me? So when you finally get it, you be like, damn, what's the hype about? But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? The point I was making was, you could post something and it's serious and it hit a nerve. I like when I hit nerve. One thing I'm gonna tell y'all I like when I post something and I don't get no likes on it, no comments, because that let me know that I hit a nerve. You dig what I'm saying? That's what that tells me. That definitely tells me, boy, you hit a nerve. You know what I'm saying? Because um the truth hurts. And when you tell somebody if the shoe fits, wear it, they get upset. I posted something on my other Facebook the other morning. I was like, and if you go down my timeline, I say this because that's all I see. I don't see too many women. Every blue moon, I see a woman post something about bigging up the black man or bigging up man or whatever the case it is. I never see nothing about, and that's barely. Excuse me. Shout out to those people. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Shout out to those people who does that, because if you constantly beating down your man, beating down the black man online, or the black man is the black man that, the black man is the black man that, you beating down your own man that you sit here talking about, but then you'll get mad when that black man say, you know what? I'm not. I'm done with these black women. I'm finna go get into another racial, another type of woman, different race of woman. Oh, he a sellout. You feel me? He a sellout now. He's a sellout because he chose to deal with something different. He chose happiness for himself over than all the confusion and the chaos. So he's a sellout. Well, keep selling out, good brother. You do what you gotta do for your happiness. You feel me? That's all I'm gonna tell you. Do what you gotta do to make you happy. Because you can meet a woman, and I done met a few of them. You can meet a woman that claim that they want this and want that and want this, and then when you try to give it to them, they turn around and do the opposite. They turn around, they being more of a scum bucket than these men is out here. You feel me? That's why I be saying it take one to know one. So for a woman to get out here and talk bad about all these men this and all these men that and all that means obviously because you getting down like all these men. You feel me? You getting down like all these men, so it take one to know one. You feel me? So, and it ain't all these men's, it's all the men's you choosing to pick. Anyway, and that goes for the men too out here. And like I said, it's hard for me to get on men because I don't see posts from men talking bad about women. I don't. I might see a memes here and there with people cracking jokes, but you got women who write whole paragraphs about how the black man is broke, how the black man ain't got nothing, how the black man. Listen, well, if you got so much going for yourself and you want you a black man, won't you build you one since you can't find you one? Won't you get one of these broken dudes out here that you see potential in and uplifting? Since you can't seem to find one, you almost 60, right? And you still ain't found the man yet? Are you almost 50? Are you almost 40? Or whatever the case it is, and you still ain't found a good man yet, maybe because you ain't looking in good spots. You feel me? Maybe you need to take your time and go look in some good spots instead of going to them same spots. You dig? That's all I'm trying to tell y'all. You feel me? It's just a lot of this stuff is can be it's like it can be fixed with a little bit of understanding and a little bit of life changing self experiences for yourself. Far as let me stop doing what I normally do because I keep getting the same results when I do the same thing I'm doing. Let me go look this way over here. You feel me? You can give somebody what they want, but if they don't really want it, then they ain't gonna reciprocate it. They ain't gonna accept it. You dig what I'm saying? Because people see this is the thing about life. You got some women that like to be chased, so they might like you, and then they might end up liking you more than they supposed to like you. But the scum bucket that's in the inside of them won't let them change. The scum bucket is just their spirit of being a scum bucket. You got women that just love the fact of being scum buckets. They love the fact of running around, bopping dudes off, uh, what I'm saying, getting ran through. They love that kind of attention because they feel some kind of fire inside of them when they do that. They might feel empty and wet and leakish when they leave the situation, But in that moment when they doing their thing, they get some kind of rise, some fire up out of that. You know what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with that because truth be told, we need them kind of women in this world. We need women like that in this world so we can know what kind of woman to pick from, what kind of woman to choose. You want a fun girl? That's the fun girls. You want a girl that's gonna be fun and conservative? That's her over there. You want a woman that's all business? That's her right there. You want a woman that's promiscuous? That's her right there. You got all these different levels of women out here, and we need all these women so a man can pick the right choice for him, and a woman know her her she know her position in life. Period. If she's a scumbag that like to jump around, go to clubs, bop off dudes she meet, oh, he cute. And then you reach the age where you almost 65, 60 years old, 55 years old. Now you looking at 26 and 27-year-old mans because the older man, you like the older man can't do nothing for me. Listen, the older man can't do nothing for him. The younger man only gonna do something for you until he get finished doing what he doing. Then he accomplish what he accomplished. He moving on. What you think he gonna do with you after if you already 55? 50, almost 50 years old, and he's 27. He's not thinking 10 years from now. I could guarantee you, if he is thinking 10 years from now, he looking at you and imagining what you're gonna look like 10 years from now. You think that's gonna keep him around when these women is walking around here half naked, young, tight skin hanging on the buttocks? You know what I'm saying? Fresh cellulites in them legs, in them booty cheeks, huh? Do you think he's gonna stay around for your old ass? Shit, I imagine when I get a certain age, ain't no woman gonna stand around looking at my old swagger waggers, balls hanging. You feel me? You'll be like, oh no, you ain't got that old school ball. I gotta go get me some young ball. I expect this. Cause I see it all my life growing up. I see it. The difference is for a woman, it's kind of a little different. See, man can still reproduce long as he can still spit out at any age. You women lifeline get cut short when it comes to producing other babies. So you wants to get your life together early, figure out what you want to do early, and start working because we spend years and years of our life doing nothing. Think about it. What did you accomplish in all your years of life being on this earth? Besides the fact if you living in an apartment, that's not really an accomplishment. That's something that you need. That's a necessity because we didn't get our things, our life together to the point where we can get a house. Where we focus on a house. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have them kind of focus. We were just living for day to day. But see, people when they focus on their future, they start thinking about I want a house, I want this. So when you start thinking like that, you start working on them things early. So and the reason why you work early, you know that old saying, work hard, you play harder. So when you work early and you work hard early, when you reach that level at that age of 35, 37, you like, man, I can retire in another 15 years and live comfortable. And you have your house, your car, you feel me, your family. See, people be saying they want a family, but they not family material. You dig what I'm saying? Family material is you sacrificing your wants for your needs. You want to go out and party, but you need to be at home with your family and doing what you're fucking supposed to do. And that's what keeps a family when you put your needs before your wants. You digging what I'm saying? When you get money and you know bills need to be paid and or somebody need their hair done, they need this, and you sacrifice what you got to make sure they get what they got. You dig what I'm saying? That's what builds family, not the type of people that you go and see and they laugh and joke with you. And once you leave, another group of family members come over there and they over there talking behind your back and all that kiki talking behind your back type stuff, but won't say it to your face. We live in a world where it's a lot of that goes on. So you gotta separate yourself from the food from the fugaziness. You gotta separate yourself from these simple minded people because their brain don't grow, and some people don't realize that their brain ain't growing or they ain't changing. They be like 60 years. I'm telling you. Just pay attention. People be 40, 50 years old, still got the same attitude they had when they was 15, 16 years old. You feel me? Where you sit back and look. And what's crazy is I was just watching the Rolling 60s little hood day. And you know what I'm saying? I like I like how they, they stick together and how they rock with each other and things like that. I really like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though they be beefing amongst each other and trying to get, but I like the way they hang out together. But the crazy part is I seen this lady. and her mama. The girl, her daughter, you could tell they was mama and daughter because she looked just like the mama. But the mama out there, skin swinging all over the place, looked like she been drinking for 30 years straight. Talking about, oh, it's 80 gram. Yeah, this on the neighborhood. I'm like, lady, if somebody pull up popping right now, you ain't even got the energy to run and duck. You just want to stand there and get hit up instead of being at the house taking care of your grandkids, watching your grandkids with your husband. She obviously she ain't got no husband because she was up there when she should have been at home with your husband. See, this is the problem. Y'all still want to stay hip when it's time for y'all to go and sit down before you have to get a hip replacement. You feel me? That's what the problem lies in that. You did, and for the being too, I understand why a lot of women are frustrated because you got a lot of, bomb ass niggas out here. Niggas get a little bit of money and then they get to thinking they somebody. You know what I'm saying? I know, man. Listen, one thing I can tell you is when you get money, you don't have to floss that shit. You don't have to flaunt that shit. It's going when you get money. See, when you got money and you floss it and show it, motherfucker, you become a target. You got people who watch this shit and pay attention. They know when you front. The wolves know when you front. They know when you really got money. That's why a lot of these niggas you see that get on here, flow showing they money, you don't see nothing happen to them because they know they probably just came up on some kind of stimulus hustle or some kind of hustle real quick and then cast a check for a quick 3,500, 4,000. Now they flossing the money online. That shit'll be gone quick because they don't know how to maintain money. You feel me? And they giving these girls, oh, I got this out here. I'm living, renting these cars, all this old crazy shit just to look like they got it. And they doing white collar crimes to keep it afloat. And women falling for this. Then when they get with the dude and they see his empire start crumbling, and they like, oh, this bum ass dude, this dude ain't got nothing. This dude, he cheating, but yeah, cause you thought what glitter was gold. You thought that was over there, that glitter, that little bit of glitter you saw sprinkled over there. You thought that was a full fledged gold nugget. That was fool's gold. That was fool's gold. You feel me? Yeah, so I'm just chopping up my people, let y'all know, man. Sometimes you just gotta take the bitter with the sweetness and just smile at everything. Everything is a lesson learned in life. Everything you go through, good and bad, is a lesson learned. When I told people when my brother Maurice passed away, may he rest in peace, I'm not dealing with nobody who had any connections with him when he passed away. And I have not dealt with them. Period. Period. And people will say, man, that's selfish, man. That's still your family. No, that's still your. Nah, man. That's the problem with y'all, man. It's still family. What do you do? Okay, wouldn't Cain and Abel brothers? Didn't one of them kill the other one? So what do you do in that kind of situation? You wait till you get killed and then everybody be like, oh, that's fucked up, and they still hanging with the person that killed you because they family too? No, I'm not gonna let my life get taken by a family member based on the fact we family. We should hang around each other. I ain't finna have you put me in another situation where something happened to me. No, that ain't what I'm doing. That ain't what I'm doing. I got kids, man. I ain't got time to be out here playing with y'all, man. What your boy baby said, I'd rather chill with my daughter and my nieces. I'd rather chill with my daughter and my nieces. You feel me? That's who I'd rather chill with than to be hanging with so-called other people, man, that call themselves, what it is. You know what I mean? But you gotta realize though, everything that you think that's with you ain't for you. Keep that in mind. Everybody that's with you ain't for you. Remember that. Cause you can hang with somebody all day long and chill with somebody, but the truth at some point is gonna come out. The truth about how they really feel about you and how they rock with you is eventually gonna come out. And when they do, don't be mad. Just take it as a lesson learned. Look at it with a Kool-Aid smile. Be like, okay, it's nothing. You feel me? On the real, like I don't be tripping. I know with a lot of people that then came into my life or I done came into their life, like it was always a blessing. You know what I'm saying? No matter how you look at it. You dig what I'm saying? Now, in some situations, how the relationships ended or whatever the case it is. I mean, it depends on who you ask and it depends on who you ask and who was wrong. Like I said, whoever was wrong, it depends on who you ask and how you look at it. You know what I mean? But me, I'm just a dude that just stand on principles. I'm a dude that stand for loyalty and respect. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care like respect from the people that's loyal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care about nobody in the streets respecting me. I ain't worried about that as long as you don't disrespect me. But you know, when people loyalty it's gonna show a form of respect for you. And that's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the only thing I can ask for. When people get to doing different things and acting weird and you know what I mean, or acting funny, then that means it's time for me to backstep. You know what I'm saying? Because I know me, I'm the type of person I get to overthinking things like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, check this. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story before I end this, right? Now, I got a homeboy, right? I've been knowing for years and years. We grew up since teenage kids together. I'm talking about years. You know what I'm saying? I met this dude, cause one of my other homeboy, I was going to Frick Junior High. So, man, this dude, we ended up cool, whatever the case it is. You feel me? Um, some things happened around the neighborhood or whatever. Everybody named. There was a lot of names being tossed up in the situation, or whatever the case it is. At this time, this guy was in prison in a whole nother state, right? He was in prison in a whole nother state, right? On top of that, let me break something else down to you, right? So for all you cats that don't know and or haven't went through this yet, let me break something down to you, right? If any time in your life you catch a case with somebody and you get arrested with somebody, right? When you get arrested with somebody, it stays on your arrest record. You feel what I'm saying? Now, if something happened and they have to come look for you and question you about something, what they do is if they really need to talk to you, they'll go through your visiting list from the last time you was incarcerated to see what connections you had, what people was coming to visit you on your visiting list, what people you ever got arrested with to see if you still they look at the timeline of y'all being arrested to see if there's still any kind of connection between the both of y'all. Check this. Remind you, this dude was in jail in a whole nother state for years. I come in town, we chopping it up one day. Whoa, whoa, the cat tell me, he say, yeah, bro, you know, some peoples came up to the jailhouse to come talk to me. I said, oh yeah. I wasn't worried about it 'cause I wasn't even in the state myself, so I know it couldn't have been had nothing to do with me. So I'm like, oh yeah. He like, yeah, man. And I said, where was you at? He said, man, I was locked up and woo, I was in prison. Woo, woo, woo. I'm like, yeah. And they came and asked you and they mentioned that. He's like, yeah. They mentioned my name. He said, yeah. Dude, you was in prison. Why would they ask somebody that they can actually look at the prison time that you served and see that you was in prison well before anything of that nature even took off over there? And on top of it, I wasn't even in town. So what that told me is, well, what that let me see, this is the thing about people, and they be thinking that you gang goofy or you stupid out here. Let me explain you something about people. This is what people do. Right. So they be sitting in jail. They trying to figure out a way to get out of jail. They're in prison, right? They calling home to the streets to their people. Now they get to hearing these crazy rumors that's going on in the streets. So in their mind, they figure, oh, I probably can get them some information, and they probably help me and get me up out of here. So they be dropping. So they start making how their peoples make call, and they start making calls saying, "Man, I got some information for you if you can help me out." Woo woo. So then they gonna take it up on themselves to go get that visit. Obviously the police realized everything the dude was saying was fake and bullshit because it didn't work for him. So I was saying to myself, why would he even tell me something like this? You feel me? So that just let me know then, right? That's when I knew that he was working with them people, like he was a police type nigga. Like I ain't saying he, and I'm saying allegedly, but I'm just saying to me, that's how it felt to me. You feel me? That's how it felt to me because why would I ain't never in the history of on being on these streets have I ever heard of anybody that said, "Yeah, man, them people came to talk to," and somebody ain't got nothing to do with nothing, with nowhere around, don't know nothing. I don't. How can I don't know nothing about what's going on, and I'm in a whole nother coast, and you in another state, and you in prison somewhere, and been in there for a little bit, been in there for some time, and this shit happened. They come and talk to you 30 days after this shit happened. How is that? It's no way possible. Unless you heard some information from the streets, cause people be running trying to talk and, my name used to come up in a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like my name was flying through the streets, and I wasn't even in town half the time. You know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy like that. But anyway, man, I just wanted to tap in with the good people, let the good people know what was going on, what I'm about to start doing. John Gaines, we about to bring John Gaines. Oh, he's gonna be my co-host on this shit, and we're gonna get this quarter report thing popping, man. You feel me? Anyway, I wish y'all a wonderful, blessed day. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused, stay lit. You know what I'm saying? Stay prayed up. Know what I'm saying? Hope your day just go by a blessing as the rest of your day's been going. And if you need, now let me explain something to you, right? If you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, let me give you some game. Jump back in the bed, roll over, and get out on the right side of the bed. Y'all have a wonderful day.